Financial report today is July 9th, 2024. Had to look it up. The days all just run together. July 9th, 2024. Glad you guys are with us. We're going to talk tonight about possibly a rate cut in September. Senator Tim Scott says it looks pretty political to him. How about this article? The stock market will drop 32% in 2025 as the feds fail to save the economy from a recession, says one research firm. Here's another one. This rally is flashing big warning signs, says one capital research group. And Jeff Bezos selling another $5 billion in Amazon stock. Risk isn't fully priced into commercial REIT, says one expert. And then we have this one here. New York City hotels housing illegal aliens receive over $1 billion in taxpayer funds. And then finally, gold could surge to $40,000 per ounce, says a strategist. Really? Well, that would, of course, obviously be under hyperinflation scenario. Let's get the boys on here. Here we go. Wes Peters, Michael Weiner. Gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast. Good evening.
Good evening, Brannon.
Hey, good evening, Brannon.
Don't sound so excited to be here, Wes.
I'm very excited. This is me excited.
Okay, oh, that's you excited. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a flatliner.
Good evening.
Never too high, never too low.
Glad to be here, Brannon. All right, so let's go with this first one, Wes. Gold could surge to 40,000 per ounce, strategists say. You know, Mike and I were talking before airtime. This is ridiculous. I mean, we hear this kind of stuff all the time and have for years and years and years. I mean, why would anyone put a headline out like that? Because, you know, just 5,000 gold is shocking enough. Why do they put out headlines like this?
Well, in the article, Brandon, what he's talking about is the total of U.S. held gold on an average has been 40% of U.S. treasuries. That's what the average has been historically. So right now it's 7%. And what he's saying is that gold would need to be revalued at least 6 times, bringing it to $16,000 an ounce to get to that 40% level. He's saying. In 1979, 1980, gold represented 140% of U.S. treasuries. And that's where he's saying it would need to be revalued 19 times to get up to $40,000 an ounce. And, you know, when Nixon took us off the gold standard back in 1971, that just was the green light that allowed our government to just start their out of control spending and printing. And it's gone on ever since then. And so that's what this article was about, is if it got back to those normal levels, where we'd be looking at the $16,000 an ounce versus $40,000 an ounce.
What's he say could happen regarding silver?
That silver, he could even go up significantly higher than that. I forget exactly what the number was, but it was significant. That, you know, and right now as we talk, you look at the gold to silver ratio, silver is no doubt very, very undervalued. So, you know, Michael and I don't tell people to get into precious metals to make money, even though you can. Typically, as your gold and silver is going up, that just means food at the grocery store is costing more, fuel at the gas stations costing more. But silver is very undervalued right now. Absolutely.
What are your thoughts, Michael Weiner?
I agree with what Wes just said on that. But, you know, as somebody who's been alive since, you know, the Roman days, Brandon, let's put it this way, that this contrarian type situation goes on a lot, as it might be. A lot of times you find that you're going to get another thought coming on that gold's going to drop to $500 an ounce. Those people come out of the woodwork at the same time. I think there's some logic to what this gentleman is saying, but I don't believe the government will let it get there. What we have to decide and see is if this country is a republic. I think you'll see gold in the next 5 years up to $5,000 an ounce and more. I think if the Democrats keep control and we lose this country, then 10 years from now, you could see $20,000, $30,000 gold because there's no dollar anymore. There's no free enterprise. There's no capitalism will be gone. And gold will be a huge part of the monetary systems of the world. So, owning this at this level is a gift. Being able to buy gold right now, as some people think it's expensive, you're going to regret it if you don't get involved now.
Let's go to this clip here. Senator Tim Scott talking about a Fed cut could be coming in September. He says this sounds rather like a political stunt, a political move. Let's see what he has to say. Here we go.
It's kind of interesting, isn't it, that he's going to probably cut rates in September. Is that too late to actually help whomever the and we'll talk about that, but whether it's President Biden or whoever the nominee is, rates seem like they're going to come down right before the election.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Joe Biden broke this economy, and Jay Powell is trying to figure out how to fix the economy. Listen, over the last 3.5 years, what we've seen is a loss of spending power by the average American around $28,000. Rate cuts will be helpful, but the fact of the matter is that doing it in September looks pretty political. I had a conversation with Jay Powell yesterday, and one of the things I left with is that he sees inflation coming down, so the prospect of rate cuts, I think, are going up. But the bottom line is this: if you do it in September, not in July, I think there's going to be a lot of conversations around the political nature of rate cuts. More importantly, though, we have to figure out how to keep this economy thriving for the first-time home buyers. How do we keep single moms like the one that raised me being able to afford buying food 30% higher, putting gas in the car about 45 to 50% higher? Those are the issues that I will talk to Jay Powell about as we have a hearing in about an hour.
Yep, and I was having that conversation just yesterday with my son. Actually, he's like, "Well, the economy, blah blah," and I go, Scotty. Oh, his name's Scott. Senator Scott. Scotty, if you have less money every 2 weeks at the end of your paycheck, and you're a mother, and you're saying, "No, I'm sorry, we're not getting that this time," or yes, if you're waiting for a paycheck and you have less every couple of weeks than you had before, it's just that simple. There's just no way to dress that up. There's not enough lipstick to put on that to help people.
100%. Listen, we went 52 paychecks in a row where inflation outpaced wage growth. Recovering from that is a long-term prospect. The challenge, of course, is baked into our economy today is significantly higher prices for everything everyday Americans have to afford. Whether it's housing, you're buying a house or renting a house. Whether it's groceries, you're making decisions in the line about what can you keep in your basket, or gas, energy for your homes.
Right.
Those prices are fixed into, and they're significantly higher than they were just 4 years ago.
Yeah, indeed, indeed, indeed. Thoughts on that, please, Mr. Weiner?
Jerome Powell is a disgrace. I mean, first of all, again, I've said it before, inflation's gone up 20% since Biden came in office. They're not dealing with that 20%. They're dealing with 2% or 2.5% this year. We're up 22 to 23%. And this idiot is going to lower interest rates totally politically. Totally politically. It's all political.
And is that going to be gasoline on the financial inflation issue?
Oh, absolutely. That's why ultimately this is the worst timing to do this, because inflation's not getting better. And one of the things that showed yesterday is all of the numbers that are coming out of this administration, including the jobs numbers, which they found out were totally fudged. Nobody can have any confidence in most of the numbers that come out of this administration. They lie just as much as Biden buys the pens every day. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And we're being put into this position because this idiot is doing nothing more than trying to keep his job. Janet Yellen is up in Congress today, too. They had to give her about 17 gallons of smelling salts to get her in there. And they're going to ask her opinion about the 25th Amendment situation as well as inflation. She's going to say, as she did before, whatever she's told to say, and then she'll go back and get in her little nightie and go to sleep.
Go seep. All right. What do you think, Mr. Wes Peters?
Well, what's interesting also, Brannon, is there's more and more pressure coming from different analysts and people saying that the Fed has already waited too long to start raising interest rates and that there will not be a soft landing, that they haven't stayed ahead of this. And so it's like, which camp do you believe? On one side, people are talking about possibly even continuing to raise rates more at some point. And then in the other camp, you've got people saying they've waited too long and they're going to put the country into a recession. So again, there's only been one soft landing, and that was in the 90s under Alan Greenspan. So if you look at historically what the Fed has been able to do in navigating this, and it's very difficult. What they're doing today, you don't see the results of that for months. And there are people already saying, well, last year, if you lost a job, you could walk right across the street and find another job. Well, it's not that way today, and there's still more and more people starting to lose their jobs, and it's taking them longer to get out there in the workforce and find another job. So you're hearing it from both sides, and but I have zero faith in these Washington officials to navigate this. I think it's going to get pretty ugly.
Yeah, I'm afraid it is as well. All right, let's go to the next one here. Logan, I'm sending you 2 pictures by email real quick. The stock market will drop 32% in 2025 as the Fed fails, I should say, to save the economy from a recession, research firm says. All right, so if it drops 20%, as one guy was saying the other day, in 2024, another 32% in 2025, now we're down 52%. Michael?
Oh, I don't agree with that. I think we're up to see what happens in the election. Trump's initial reaction, Trump isn't a stock market guy, he's an economy guy.
Right.
And what he will do is he will turn around and cut taxes to the country and get rid of regulations, which will spearhead the economy. I think the market is going to correct. I think it's going to correct anywhere from 10 to 20% under Trump, and then it'll come back because he'll stabilize it. But if these people stay in office, 2008 is going to be an ice cream party compared to what's coming up.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Weiner? I mean, Mr. West?
Yeah, I totally agree. The stock market's very, very overvalued. There's another article that we're going to get into here in just a moment. You mentioned Jeff Bezos selling $5 billion in Amazon stock. All of these executives for these big magnificent 7 companies, and I'll bring it tomorrow. A gentleman from our office here just shared with me the insider selling with all of these large corporations. They show how much of the shares of the company these board members have been buying versus how many they've been selling, and it's astonishing. So they're selling out.
Why are they selling? Because they see a massive recession and profits dropping. Is that why they're selling?
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. And they're selling it at all-time highs. I mean, their portfolios are up significantly, and, they're billionaires for a reason, they understand this. Now, of course, they're not going to let the everyday American that's investing in their companies know that, but it's all public record. And it's astonishing how little these executives are buying versus how much they're selling. It's just alarming. And you look at Jeff Bezos, what he's doing, and he's just one of several that are liquidating their positions and sitting in cash with those liquidations.
Well, let's just go to that article. You've already brought it up enough. Let's just go to it. Jeff Bezos selling another $5 billion in Amazon stock. So there it is.
His total, he wants to sell $8.5 billion is what he's, and he might already be at that
sold
level.
Over $7.5 billion worth of Amazon shares this year, according to this report. Yeah. Wow. What are your thoughts on this, Michael?
And you, go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, Wes, finish.
No, I was just going to say that you look at Tesla stock, what it's done over the years, all those years that Tesla stock was going crazy when it hadn't even profited $1. It was, negative every year. And just until I think it's 2020, Tesla finally started turning a profit. But the fundamentals to the stock market, the rhyme or the reason, it doesn't matter. If Wall Street gets behind a stock and they can find a way to get behind it and drive that stock higher, that's all they care about. The fundamentals are out the door, and the insider selling is just unbelievable that's going on, and it's going to continue. And I'll have that. I'll bring that list tomorrow, and we can go through it.
Okay. Look at this headline: Jeff Bezos to sell 5 billion Amazon shares, according to this tweet. Jeff Bezos intends to sell 25 million extra shares of Amazon worth 5 billion. This follows 8.5 billion in sales earlier this year, bringing his total to 13.5 billion by 2024. And then it goes on from there. So, what are your thoughts, Michael?
My thoughts are real simple. I think they're looking at two things: taxes and who wins the election. Because right now they can take this. He's got a lot of gain. He's got an unrealized gain that's not going to be realized. And he knows, and his people, financial people, are saying to him, hey, look, if Biden wins, your taxes are going to go to the roof. You're going to pay like crazy. So you might as well take advantage of long-term capital gain now and bag it. And then also be concerned about the economy. I think these people they talk one way. It's like Jamie Dimon said, I have a Democratic heart and a Republican brain. That's what these people have right now. They're saying to themselves, to cover my rear end and get myself in the right position, I'm going to start cashing in because I don't want to be sitting in stocks when they, number one, correct, and number two, I don't want to not be in a liquid position when I need to be when this all happens. So he's just literally locking himself down in his financial position for his lifetime without taking a hit on his stock that he ultimately is saying to us there's risk. That's why you see Tesla doing what he's doing over Elon Musk and other people selling stock, because they are betting that, number one, that they don't want to take a risk that Biden does get elected, even though they support him. And they don't want to take a risk of the taxes, and they don't want to take a risk of any type of further governmental regulation that blocks their ability to get rid of the stock. That's another thing that they can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Logan, did you get those pictures? You ready for them? You can throw yourself on camera there, Logan. We got you a camera and a microphone and everything in there. All right, look at that. No, let's go to the first one. The first one. There we go. That's what I did. That's what I was doing over the 4th of July weekend. That's the first pass with my shears. You want to say, who is her barber? I'm her barber. I cut her hair. Look at that. Save a lot of money, and she loves it. She stays cooler, and the wife loves it because she's not shedding all over the house. So that's pass number 1. Now we'll go to the final product. Look at that. Woo! Look at her smiling. She's happy. Cool down for the 4th. Now, I'm going to go to a wide shot, Logan, on the floor. Look at her on the floor. You guys were showing you were showing your dog last week. There, pull down that logo. There, looky there, Delta on her MyPillow pet bed. Look at that. Great shot. Look at that. Wow.
She had a rough day.
Yeah, she's having a very rough day. Aren't you, Delta? You're totally ignoring me. By the way, folks, you want to get a MyPillow pet bed for your pet, just go to mypillow.com. Use the promo code B66. I haven't plugged this in a while. Sheets, towels, blankets. Look at that. Logan's ready. Sheets, towels, blankets, pet bed, slippers, sandals, mattresses, mattress toppers, robes, and more. There's a $25 sale going on over there. A bunch of stuff for just $25, and you can get your pet, your fur baby, a MyPillow pet bed, just like Delta is laying on right there. Anyway, there you go. MyPillow.com, promo code B66. Don't forget also, if you would like to get a free, no obligation packet of information on precious metals, and particularly putting gold in your IRA. I don't give financial advice, I give financial opinion. My opinion is a lot of people are going to watch their financial house collapse, and they're not going to be able to do anything about it because there'll be a digital run. They'll lock everything down, and you'll just sit there and watch as your life saving goes kaput in things like 401ks and whatnot. So if you want to put gold in your IRA, you can. These guys will show you how to do it. It goes into a depository in Delaware. Again, full details through that free packet of information, 602-558-8585. Look at you guys. You got you up on a video wall and everything. Look, every time I turn around, Logan's coming up with a new cutting edge technology. You guys notice this camera's moving? So again, that's a robotic camera. We had a guy standing there doing this all day, and he lost his job. No, we didn't. But there you go. We got a robot now in the control room running that camera right there that moves. And now we got you guys on the video wall. Look at that. Looks like you guys are wanted posters at the post office. Look at that.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Milk curtain.
Appreciate that. Milk cartons. There you go.
There you go. There you go. 602-558-8585. All right, let's go back to the articles here. But isn't that a good-looking haircut I gave that dog, Wes?
Yeah, very, very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
I thought you had a stroke for a moment there. You were gone.
I won't say when you sent me that picture yesterday. I won't ask you what I asked you then.
Yeah, that's fine. We can say it. Wes wanted to know if Melissa uses those same shears to trim my back hair.
Shave your back.
Yeah.
There's a lot
That's
of
what they were probably originally bought for, and you're like, hey, I wonder how these would work on Delta.
There's a lot of great information.
That's the true story.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, here we go. Next article. Risk isn't fully priced into commercial REIT, says KBW's Jade Ramani. All right, I have no idea what that means. Go ahead, tell us what all that means, please, Wes.
Well, again, there's a big tsunami coming in the real estate market
But
for
what
these
is
banks.
REIT?
Real estate
REIT, that's an investment. Yeah.
Okay.
real estate investment trust.
Okay.
Correct. It's where people can put up money and get into the real estate market at a much larger exposure. It's a pool of money that these REITs use for office buildings.
Why are you shaking your head no, Michael?
No, I agree with Wes. I just hate REITs. I think they're terrible, and I think they're a scam in some respect because you get into these pools of money that go into owning all kinds of office buildings. One of the biggest scandals was in LAX airport. They had these REITs that bought all those buildings around LAX, then they filed bankruptcy. And if you need to get liquidated and you're in a REIT, good luck. I mean, good luck. They sound great, but they're not great.
It sounds like a timeshare nightmare type thing.
Sort of the same type of situation. Correct.
So the article says that, well, I guess you have to load more to see more. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe it's a video. Is it a video? You want me to play a video, Wes?
Short video.
Okay, here we go. I bet it's like stupid ad first. Hang on. Oh, that's a 26-minute ad, 30-second ad. We're going to have to wait for 30 seconds for that to pass. What a joke. 19 seconds, guys. That's all we have left.
One thing I'll say is, who wants to have a commercial office space in San Francisco? You got to carry Narcan in your briefcase for all the druggies out in front of your building.
Worse than that, I saw today where some companies are hiring armed guards to deliver products. I don't know if I put it at worldviewreport.com today or not. Let's see. Worldview Report.
I saw it just now too. I think it was Walmart is now going to allow their employees to try and stop shoplifters if it's over $50.
Yeah, here we go. Armed guards escort. Let me play the video on this one. I got the other one ready to go, but let me play this one. Here we go.
South Bay, delivery drivers say they're increasingly worried about becoming targets. It's happening often enough that at least one company is now hiring armed guards to escort their drivers. Damian Trujillo in downtown San Jose with a story you'll see only on NBC Bay Area.
One of those escorted delivery drivers spent part of his day here at the 7-Eleven on 3rd and San Fernando. And at least one retired San Jose police officer says he's not surprised. Many call them the lifeline of the American economy, truck drivers, including those who deliver merchandise to convenience stores, often early in the morning. But a clerk at the downtown San Jose 7-Eleven was surprised to see this recently. A delivery company called Core-Mart providing an armed guard with its...
Okay, wait a minute. Can someone tell me why the armed guard seems to have his face down? He seems to have his face down in the in his phone versus having his head on a swivel. Did it not? Let me see if I can go back to that. Well, let me go back. Let's do it again. Notice that. That was the first thing I noticed. Let's play it.
And Fernando. And at least one retired San Jose police officer says he's not surprised. Many call them the lifeline of the American economy. Truck drivers, including those who deliver merchandise to convenience stores, often early in the morning. But a clerk at the downtown San Jose 7-Eleven was surprised to see this recently. A delivery company called Core-Mart providing an armed guard with its truck and driver. Gurdev Singh says, unfortunately, he understands why.
Facing so many problems just because of the crazy guys. Now they are good at all. Here in downtown San Jose, lot of crazy people hanging all the time. So
This be more stereotypical, the guys from India running a 7-Eleven. Did Joe Biden say something about that once?
He did.
Let me keep going. Let me keep going.
Yeah.
better they hire a guard.
We reached out to Core-Mart's parent company, but they declined to explain why they're now providing the guards. San Jose police say they saw a slight increase in the robbery of delivery trucks 2 years ago, but say they have not seen a spike lately. Flavio Lopez works for another delivery company and says he wishes he had a guard as well, or at least a second person to help him keep an eye on the merchandise. Lopez hasn't been robbed, but he has had his run-ins downtown.
They had a pallet just like this, little stack, and somebody just came over and went, knocked it all over Starbucks glass. I had to pick it all up, and he just ran, so stuff you gotta do in downtown. It is what it is, man.
Unfortunately, this is what society has become now, with armed guards guarding merchandise from the retailer, because there seems to be a sense of lawlessness in our society.
Daryl Cortez is a retired San Jose police officer who now works in corporate and retail security.
It's very unfortunate. You and I pay for it. The consumer pays for it in the back end, because prices increase because the merchandise is going out the door, and no one is stopping the bad guys because of the threat of violence.
It's clear.
Wow. Of course, that's Gavin Newsom, right? That's California, right?
Oh, yeah. Good old California.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, I thought you might find that interesting, guys. So now you have to have security guards to deliver some products. All right, let's go back to the real estate clip. Yeah? What's that, Logan? How much? 3 minutes? All right, thank you. Here we go.
Your question, we think values are 30 to 50% into the correction, and we believe that's worse than the consensus.
Right, and you're saying we're showing some of the names: Bank of Marin, Community Financial Corp, Bank of the Ozarks. Those are names that could have 12 to 22% of exposure in terms of their loans. The Fed says they're keeping an eye on this, but could commercial real estate to this cycle be what residential was last cycle? Or I guess arguably CMBS was that last cycle too.
We think that there will be a meaningful correction in commercial real estate, and our framework implies 1 to 3% loan losses. The impact to book values and equities for the various lending companies in KBW's coverage, which includes the commercial mortgage REITs, the banks, the life insurance companies, and alternative asset managers, those hits would be higher depending on the amount of leverage.
Yeah, so one of the things the Fed chair emphasized was he said this is not a problem that we see systemic to big banks, implying, in other words, we wouldn't have a rerun of 08. There are.
Do you believe that? Oh, this isn't going to hit the big banks. Do you really believe that, Michael or Wes?
No, and it's funny how the Fed says they're watching it, and it'll all collapse. They'll be like, "Yep, it was a bad situation." You know, it's again. It's a big joke. I mean, right now, San Francisco, 35% of their office space in San Francisco is empty, you know, and many of these banks are significantly leveraged to the commercial real estate. So they're on the hook for those loans. Absolutely.
Let's go to this one real quick. New York City hotels housing illegal aliens receives over $1 billion in taxpayer funds. There you go. This is it, folks. They're apparently trying to collapse the whole system on us. That's the old Cloward Piven strategy. Collapse the system, and then they can nationalize everything. Oh, and by the way, over at worldviewreport.com, your daily aggregated news site, mass fatality management planning for bird flu. International Bird Flu Summit in D.C. this coming October. Yeah, there you go, folks. They're planning something kind of like the Event 201 right before the pandemic of COVID. They're having another one in October 2nd through the 3rd in Washington, D.C. There you go. So, folks, I don't know what they got planned, but get ready. Get your packet of information, free, no obligation packet from Wes and Mike, 602-558-8585. Just text Wes your name and address. He'll send it on. Thanks for watching. Till next time, I'm Brannon Howse. May God save America. Take care.